Hi, this is Dr. Justina Agnieszka Szewoje. This is a series to reduce abuse and misconception by hiding sexual desire and love from public opinion and in medical arts, to pathologize normal changes, to enable work prescribing compensatory medication, and for life making people depending on those medications and pursuit of work and service to others instead of own families, which is bioethically wrong. Second category is to endure unwanted or even a little bit less wanted relationships by prescription of suppressants or stimulants to evoke a response occurring when the individual is right and in reciprocity naturally, and that is by imposing partners less wanted or unwanted and giving suppressants to endure them based on the fictional demand for work, and for that the work starts to the in many aspects, the work says to be the impediment of progress, because it is as if applying for sexual activity at home to the less wanted partner, pending also on that deserving having children, and also applying for that by with money, education, and other aspects, while the other one sits and considers it as a favor based on achievements, and is to start with in reciprocity, not entrusted, and vice versa, because that couple is to perform social function, educate, and work per social expectations that are bioethically immoral. We do not, knowing so, prescribe suppressants to endure touch or endure sexual acts that are unwanted, because those wedding licenses are illegally issued, and divorce is impeded by pathologizing to enable persons to be for life claiming that they're sick when there is someone who is loved more each, and to also perform deficient work that is devoid of sense and halts progress in resentment for not having preferred partner, to apply for less wanted sex and grant such based on work achievements or appraisal of others. The suppressants also are accompanied with stimulants and recreational drugs that mimic in an insufficient, deficient way states occurring in sexual surrender, in pleasure, or in love. They are many that promote that instead of sexual education, and are responsible for Mannheim, and then force blame and rehabs, and call being in love with someone and faithful by memory of reciprocity in that relationship degeneration. That is not degeneration to reject others if that person has someone who loves them and is unaware of that reciprocity needed, inscribed in human nature to perform sexual act and have a wanted child. Another aspect of an unethical prescription and medical practice is provision of children that mimics meat industry, and provision of those children to persons who in a -5 to 5 scale reject by spontaneous abortions or by frank disgust fertilization by the given and inscribed as commitment individual, and that is also a demand of asexual fertilization of that person or donation of sperm to reproduce, to work instead, because sex and love are considered pathologies that impede working, as opposed to source of love for partner, kindness to others, and enthusiasm to work, as well as source of having then love to children and fair distribution of goods. Persons who have such children struggle to have these children then loved and accepted socially, and have fair share of food, clothes, education, and attention, in proportion of lacking sex, impeded to promote work. There is nothing wrong with these children while when they are already conceived, and they deserve to stay alive. However, sometimes disgust is such that without hormonal suppression and psychotropes, pregnancy is unable to sustain and unethical to provide, because that is legalized rape, in fact, psychologically so if those persons are interviewed. Nobody wants to be somebody else's personal sacrifice if another person wishes for sex and love of that person most in the world, feeling at risk of being unable to function if that is not given to that person, versus another one who needs steroids to endure sperm or endure a sexual act, or needs Spanish fly or stimulants to create sexual arousal and endure that relationship, or sildenafil or other drugs to have erection. We don't prescribe it knowing, so we do an interview. In this video, in the next one, I'm gonna describe proper charting in mental health sciences and also in consulting called family planning, so that it makes actual sense and we do not impede happiness by promoting nonsensical work to apply for sex later on, postponed indefinitely, in destruction by drugs of bodies, and pathologizing in shame of what is source of children, which is sex. Charting consists of history that includes in mental health all of partners that contributed to surge of sexual maturation prior to development of romantic love. All of those partners, once love is developed and experienced, are considered overcome. It is enough with one strong preference considered being in love to one partner to impede being able to move backwards and pursue the others, and pushing across those past partners causes aggression and severe behaviors and self-defense, so we don't do that. Forward, so we call that overcoming relationship and acquiring maturity. We do not also call degeneration or complicated mental history, having persons that were loved and sexual act to leading to marriage and children impeded by demands on non-selective survival and work, be it in medicine or other fields, because that is unethical and consists of crimes against humanity, in which medical providers we do not participate, based on medical oath that also includes do not kill as a result of treatments.